My Roblox rendition of the restaurant scene from Falling Down was inspired by both the Gmod Idiot Box skit and the movie itself. Despite my disdain for Roblox and the incidental inclusion of a less than fortunate cameo, I still adore this video. I built the set with a little help from free models for some of the props, including a couple food items for the extras to nibble on in the background. I found a few scripts to help out as well, like a Ragdoll on Death script and an admin command script. Also of help was the HK5, lifted from Clockwork and Connix's Kaseki CTF, and hidden in the lighting so I could use a script command to give myself one. Then I published the place to an alt account and invited a bunch of people to join as extras. The extras were a smorgasbord of friends, colleagues, fans, and friends of friends. I had Kirby980 as the manager, 1995 Jam 2 as the cashier, and 16 or 17 extras in the background. A couple people dropped out and hopped in, but most everyone stayed. The point is, we had a total of 20 people on the set, myself included. Never before had I worked with that many people at once, so I was really happy that everyone mostly behaved. Not everything went to plan, but when it didn't, it was in the best way possible. You can see everyone casually chatting it up in the background to pass the time while I shoot the video. Since I didn't have the camera manipulation I had in Roblox God of War, I doubled as an actor and cameraman, in a more Spartan sense, and not the Spartan you're thinking of. So any shots that didn't focus on me had to be shot in first person. That would require me to move out of position to get some of these shots, but my positioning was pretty consistent. Either I filmed the shots I needed out of order and edited accordingly in post, or I was just that good at getting back into position that no one would notice. Or the framing of the shot is just that ubiquitous. It's impossible to tell, but that's a minor detail. But I do know I moved out of position after I pulled the gun on the manager so I could get an angle on Jedi Knight jumping from his chair. That might have been a one-take wonder, if memory serves me, but however many tries it took, his movement was perfect for this shot. Skull was standing even after someone told him to sit, but it wasn't a big deal. Me saying face might have been part of my instructions to Jedi Knight, like face this direction or something, I'm not sure. And then I went back to the counter to get a wide shot of everyone in the restaurant freaking out. Almost everyone. Most of them were panicking as instructed, including in the chat, but a couple of them were just sitting there cluelessly while Jedi Knight put on his best 1,000-yard stare. I love the irony of Skull actually sitting at the start of the shot, creating a minor continuity error that most people won't notice on their first viewing anyway, followed by his delayed reaction of, what? Oh right, panic! When it cuts back to me, there's a sandwich behind me. I don't know why that's there, but it's kind of funny. I think one of the extras put it there. But that's not even the funniest unplanned tidbit. With everyone facing me, we see Jack Bob spinning in place, and some shuffling around in the background. That actually worked out because it fits with the hey 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 hey. In the film, Foster follows up with, Mister, where are you going? Directed at a guy trying to leave the building. When it cuts back to me reassuring everyone, I had Kirby and Jam freaking out behind me, as instructed. You can even see my instruction to Kirby in the chat. That was supposed to be some comical juxtaposition, but 3D Gamer one-upped me by just casually sidestepping his way into the shot. He stole the moment. It was brilliant. Then we get to the big laugh, accidentally unloading a comical amount of bullets into the crowd as I lose control of the gun. In hindsight, it would have been more effective to shake the camera around, or shake my character around to sell the out-of-control feeling I was going for instead of flailing the cursor around, but it worked out okay. Fuck knows how I kept that going for 5 straight hours before regaining control, never once having to reload. The gun had a larger magazine, but even then, I'm pretty sure I would have unloaded it after a few minutes of sustained fire, not 5 hours. The HK5 used in this video was already properly scripted, but I edited a couple values for use during filming, namely massively increasing the magazine capacity. Apart from removing the ammo GUI, I didn't change anything else in the scripting, rendering it a little buggy and pretty much useless for general purposes. But it didn't have to be as fully functional as it started, it just needed to be functional enough for the purpose of filming. I used the HK5 because, with my limited resources, it was the closest I could get to the Tech 9 used in the film. After firing off a burst into the crowd, I used commands to kill everyone in the server, leaving ragdolls in their places, teleported them all to a spot out of the shot, and froze them all in place. And then I teleported and froze a straggler when he entered the server, much to his dismay. That way you wouldn't see them or their names as I filmed the last couple shots. Their hats didn't survive ragdollization, but that didn't bother me enough to try to figure out how to add that into a script that I didn't even write. I've made modifications to existing scripts before, but that kind of functionality was above my level. I love how in 2 of these shots you can see me trying not to show my own ragdoll, since I had no way of excluding myself from the mass slay command. The alternative would have been using the kill command on each individual extra, which would have been incredibly inefficient. With no way of removing my ragdoll from the shot, it served as a funny flub for those paying attention. Especially as I quickly shift myself to get my ragdoll out of the frame as if to say, nothing to see here. Then I brought Kirby back to his spot and used script builder commands to make his head invisible and remove his hat and face. And that was that. As a reward for everyone's patience and cooperation, I unfroze everyone and let them roam around, and I gave them all my very glitchy gun to play with. I stayed with them for the after party for a while, and when all was said and done, I got to work editing the video. And there you have it. A glimpse into one of my favorite videos on the channel. Keep your eyes open for the big finale coming up in... soon, I hope. I don't know when, but we'll see.